In the month of April this year, when we went into a lockdown due to coronavirus, a wildlife sanctuary was opened up for 3 linear projects approved over a video conference. Hi, I am Tamanna, and the forest in focus is Bhagwan Mahavir Sanctuary and Molam National Park in Goa. Together covering an area of 240 square kilometers, this happens to be the largest and the biggest wildlife reserve in Goa. And the 3 projects approved in this area are expansion of a national highway, double tracking of a railway line, and laying transmission power line. Let's start with a little history of the expansion of the National Highway 4A. The existing 2-lane National Highway 4A connects the industrial city Belgaum in Karnataka to Vasco, Goa. The approved expansion has come after quiet tweaks in the law by the current government. This project was proposed back in 2005, but it kept hitting roadblocks because this happens to be a protected forest and it has a lot to lose. In 2016, Nitin Gadkari-led Ministry of Road Transport and Highways had taken measures to expedite languishing road projects. This included eliminating the requirement for an environmental clearance for roads up to 100 kilometers long. In 2018, the National Highway Authority of India proceeded with this project without seeking any fresh clearance after the 2016 tweaking of rules. In January 2019, a PIL was filed against this project, but by the time the court ordered a stay, the trees were already hacked. On April 7, 2020, this project was given a green light via video conference while the entire country was locked inside their homes due to coronavirus. There's a reason why this project did not get approvals all these years. Expansion of this highway will lead to forest fragmentation, and this is specifically not all right considering Bhagwan Mahavir Wildlife Sanctuary and Molam National Park are right at the confluence of Northern and Southern Sahyadri Range or Western Ghats. Point to note here is that Western Ghats happens to be one of the hottest hotspots of biodiversity on the planet. Western Ghats cover less than 6% of India's land area but hosts nearly 1/3 of the country's plants and animals, including 325 endangered species. According to an analysis by India Spend, despite this fact, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has granted environmental clearances to 76 projects in the Western Ghats since July 2014. So what can we expect if the construction here begins? According to experts, roads create an opening to the forest which has a mushrooming effect. That means there's not just inflow of people and traffic, but also outflow of wild meat and viruses, just like COVID-19. Animals are prey to becoming roadkills, especially on wider roads. Birds too are unable to escape the damage. Once the wheels of this project are in motion, there will be leveling, blasting and earth-moving work, which means also debris and construction material that ends up in the streams and rivers as always, polluting water that is meant for the animals of the forest. Molam is home to fascinating species, which include, most importantly, endemic species, which are range restricted. That means you can't find them anywhere else. The disturbance that roads and railways create in the vegetation allows invasive species to take hold and thrive. Once they come in, they can outcompete the natives. Which brings us to 2 more projects approved in the same sanctuary and park. Doubling of Castle Rock Kulim Madgaon railway track and laying of a 400 kilovolt power transmission line. Doubling of Castle Rock Kulim Madgaon railway track will include construction of 12 tunnels in a 16-kilometer stretch, creating a further fragmentation of the forest. Electronically operated doors are proposed on the tunnels, but animals cannot time trains or read signs. These tunnels will create barriers that will hinder the movement of the animals. Not to forget, the laying of these tracks will also include felling of trees, and this forest happens to have cavity nesting birds. The 400 kilovolt of high tension power transmission line goes a step further in these approvals. There is no environment impact assessment of it mentioned in the ministry's website whatsoever. Molam is all set to lose more than 55,000 trees, but the locals believe the number will be much more. 2020 started for Goa with the death of a tigress and 3 cubs as a direct result of human-wildlife conflict. While on one hand, the Forest Department is trying to reduce human-wildlife conflict by creating artificial water holes and nalas to make sure that the animals don't wander around for water into settlements, these projects will create more human-wildlife conflict. Goans are fighting, people are fighting all over the country to save Molam. They need your support. In the caption, you can find the campaign details that are running in Goa at the moment. Remember, there's no going back from this once the construction starts. So let's do something about it now. This time, the forest in focus was Bhagwan Mahavir Sanctuary and Molam National Park, but there are many more forests in danger in the country right now. Let me do my homework and get back to you with more stories. Meanwhile, please again go to the caption and support the campaigns running to save Molam. Thank you.